Hey guys, Dave and Chris here from BowHunterPlanet.com, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Hoyt Carbon RX-4 Turbo.
Alright, so we got the brand new RX-4 this year. It is a great new carbon bow from Hoyt. It's a redesign, or slight redesign, slight modification from what we had last year with the RX-3. The riser is very familiar. I'm not sure if they really made a ton of changes to that, but it looks very familiar to me. Cam systems are a little different for sure. The one we got here is the ZT Turbo Pro Cam. So this is the fastest bow they have in the lineup, in the carbon lineup as well.
And it shows it.
Yeah, so we've got a 350 feet per second IV or ATA, so IVO is 350 feet per second. Okay. So as far as speed, it's rated at 350 feet per second. It's a 31-inch axle-to-axle bow with a 5 7/8 inch brace height, and it's coming in at 4 pounds. All the standard colors ordered from Hoyt. You've got your Under Armour Forest, you've got Realtree Edge, Kuiu Verde 2.0, Subalpine from Sitka, you've got Elevate 2, Storm, Blackout, you got the Cameron Haynes Keep Hammering Edition, the Bone Collector Edition, the Realtree Edge Bone Hammering. I mean, there's tons and tons of options. Hoyt's always had a ridiculous amount of options, and that's just the hunting side, of course. They've got target colors too with some really sexy looking limbs. So you got lots of different options with this bow. So Hoyt's kind of innovated the way you're buying bows from Hoyt, or at least the way you're shopping for Hoyt bows. They've introduced 3 new series this year called the Alpha Series, the Ultra Series, and the Turbo Series. All 3 of them are going to have options in them. This bow right here, the RX-4 Turbo, falls of course into the Turbo Series. So we're going to go ahead and click on the Turbo Series here, and of course it's going to pop right up with the RX-4. So this bow has the brand new redesigned ZT Turbo Cam. This is definitely the fastest cam offering that they've offered on a carbon bow, and it definitely felt it. I'm not going to say it was an aggressive draw cycle, but it was. It was one of those, when I drew it back, I knew this bow was going to flat out shoot fast. It's a cable stop bow, so the draw cycle was smooth. It hit the wall, but not aggressively. It was very comfortable, I thought, to shoot it.
I mean, I also thought the bow shot amazing, but with that said, the tech on this bow is so cool because it's carbon. I mean, it's something you don't see every day, and it's like a tube style, right? It's different. Yep. This technology they've been doing for a few years now, right? I mean, it's been about, what, 5 years now?
Yeah, at least 5 or 6 years. It all started with the Element and Matrix from Hoyt.
Yes.
Those were the first 2 carbon bows that they made. So I mean, they've just perfected it with simplifying the design, integrating new processes into their system. That's just going to make it a superior carbon bow for them.
I mean, the carbon, if you don't know, carbon's pretty much the premium, right, of anything, really. Mm-hmm. But carbon allows the bow to be super quiet, super light, and very warm to the touch, which is really critical if you're a bow hunter in late season especially. I know most of you who are bow hunters probably have grabbed your bow or crossbow or gun, really, and picked it up in a hunt situation, and you're waiting for a deer to come out and your hands start to freeze instantly because you're touching that metal. This allows you to avoid all of that and gives you a top-notch shooting high-performance bow.
Yeah, so I mean, they've got some cool things going on with the bows as well, some new technology that they've added. The shock pods are very similar to what we've seen in some other companies, especially like we were saying before, in a ultra high vibration area of the bow. They've added vibration dampening right away, as well as your standard alpha shocks that they have in the limb that we've seen for years with Hoyt.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see them add that in. The stealth shot vibration, or a string stop, is something they've added in, as well as the rear stabilizer mount, which also you can utilize with the Hoyt rear stabilizer bracket and will actually secure and lock itself in place. So if you're looking for some accessories, see your dealer. They've got a great way to integrate that in so it doesn't move on you. It's actually a really cool system. And on the aluminum bows, they actually have the locking key in that as well.
Oh, cool.
So definitely some cool stuff. Now with the grips, the one thing that's totally new is the new adjustable grip system. So we've seen it in the past where people have played with pitch. Well, Hoyt's actually making it so you can move it left and right.
Wow.
And basically what that does is everyone kind of holds the bow a little bit differently. So I might twist the bow this way naturally. Dave might twist the bow this way naturally. What it allows us to do is actually move the grip left and right so that when we put our pressure in the bow naturally, we're not torquing the riser or adversely affecting the tune of the bow with how we want to hold it.
That's pretty cool.
So it's kind of a cool new innovative system that they've done. That's brand new to the Redworks series. Of course, we're seeing a lot of inspiration in the tech riser design. I know we're kind of scrolling through the pages here and going over them, but
well, it's
honestly,
we talk about everything.
There's so much that we've done.
Hoyt's done such a good job, it's hard to know everything that's been done, so it's better to go through it and talk about it with you guys, and so we're all on the same page, we don't miss anything. It's super important. So I think the roller cable guard's been pretty much the same, right?
Yep.
For a few years.
Yeah, roller cable guard is something we've seen from them for a long time.
Right on the tech part there, so I mean...
Super durable, mounted straight to the bow, no flex to it, it's a solid position. Of course, they've put it in a location that's going to be optimal for the tune of the bow. We're getting the unibus on the bottom, dual string stops on the bottom, as well as one on the top, split yokes on the top for tuning, so you can really fine-tune this bow. One thing I've always liked about Hoyt is just how tunable of a system it really is.
And again, you know, we talk about... I mean, we didn't really talk about Hoyt yet as a company, and I want to. One of the things about them is their target stuff, right? So they're such a huge target company as well, and like you're saying, that all that stuff comes together, right?
Yep.
They take those things they learn from that, put it into these, take stuff from this they might learn, put it in that, but mainly they have that mindset of, you know, what needs to be done and what can make it better.
Absolutely. Yeah, the inspiration's definitely going to be in how can I make this bow shoot the best it's possible.
All right, guys, we're speed testing the new Hoyt Carbon RX-4. Who it's super light, and it's the turbo model. So, 70 pounds, 29 inches of draw length. First arrow at 350 grains. Let's see what this thing can do. 330 feet per second. I could tell when I pulled it back it was gonna go. 450 grains. 290 feet per second. 550 grains. 268 feet per second. And finally our last arrow, 687 grains. 242 feet per second. This bow, super fast. And the thing about Hoyt, you have to remember, is they have so many different options, right? This is the turbo. Again, they have other ones that are not turbos, as well as aluminum and other type bows. So pretty cool. But otherwise, I thought it was a very hard-hitting bow, very smooth bow, and definitely forgiving bow.
Yeah, one thing I really like about it is being that it's the turbo and it is fast. Yeah, it is a little bit more on the aggressive side. But what it allows you to do is, I've always been a big, I've always motivated people to go to the lower poundages, especially for cold weather hunting in Michigan. Like, we had a wicked cold weather snap, and I've had nothing but guys coming in saying their 70-pound bow is just too much. So what this allows you to do is shoot a 60-pound bow with the same performance that you may be getting out of your 60-pound bows, or your 70-pound bows, and really get that key performance out of it.
Yeah, and like we say all the time, guys, get your local Hoyt dealer, shoot this bow yourself, shoot the other options too, so you can see what works for you. You know, some guys are just speed demon freaks. That's all they want. They want the fastest, most powerful bow. So every bow company offers something in that, you know, area. And this is what Hoyt offers, and it is a powerhouse, and it is super fast. I will agree to both those comments, and I agree with you that if I turn it to 60, I can hunt this bow all day, no problem.
Absolutely.
And it's a great shooting bow. The carbon makes it so comfortable and different, and I love that it's carbon. And we will be testing other Hoyts this year too, so you guys will stay tuned for other ones. You will get to see some of the aluminum bows and all that. This bow also came with a bag, which is really cool. This is how it came. It came with this bag inside of it. So Hoyt gives you this beautiful bag to go with your carbon bow, which is really, really cool. And all right, so you know, talking about Hoyt real quick as a company, I want to say number one, thanks to Hoyt for allowing me and Kevin to come out to Utah and see their facility firsthand. We got to actually go there and see them making bows, and it was incredible, guys. Like literally one of the best experiences we've had at BowHunterPlanet was going to Hoyt's facility, seeing them, sitting down with them, talking, going into all their cool boardrooms that you guys see on their YouTube page and Facebook. You see that huge boardroom with the big screen where they do all their launch meetings. We got to walk in there and hang out. We got to sound Mike Looper and chat with him about the marketing behind Hoyt and everything about it. And what we learned is just, it's such a great company, you know, and you can listen to this podcast. It's on our BHP podcast and hear about it and hear Mike's, you know, talk about how important archery is to them and getting it done for the consumer and the customer. Their customers first with Hoyt, and that's a very big thing. They really want to make a bow that's going to, you know, fit your needs, fit my needs, fit his needs, fit his, you know, that's their goal. So, and it was cool to see that process and how clean the environment was, how large the manufacturing is, how many people worked there. I mean, it was massive. It was very, very, very cool. So hats off to Hoyt, another great bow, another great year at Hoyt. And we look forward to testing the rest of the bows, getting them out to you guys, and let you guys check them out. So Hoyt.com, check it out, BowHunterPlanet.com. Stick around for a lot more videos. We're going to keep rolling on. We'll see you guys next time. What else can we do, not just us, but you and other companies, to keep driving youth to get involved, you know, or get parents to get their kids to shoot a bow?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It's something we talk about all the time. One of the things about bow hunting is it can be very intimidating, right? I mean, to think about going, if you've never done it before, to think about going and buying a bow, getting a bow set up, going and shooting, and then going and killing an animal, you know, and then having to take care of the animal the right way, and all that's required of that, it can be very intimidating. And so I think one of the most important things that we can do as an industry, and especially at the pro shops, is to break down those barriers. Because it can be a little bit of a machismo sport, right? And there can be some clicks that can happen at shops. You walk in the door of a shop and all of a sudden everyone's sitting at the counter, turns around and looks who's coming in the door, who's this new guy, you know? And it can be, you can get nervous to shoot a bow in front of the people watching you, right? And it's like, gosh, and it's a guy thing, right? We have egos, and you don't want to walk into a shop and not know, and it to be look like a fool when you maybe don't know how to shoot. And so anything we can do to break down the barriers and welcome new people in, and I think that can happen through, you know, content that we share, you know, through social media, but really it comes back to that experience. I hope that every retailer and every person who's involved in bow hunting, when they have someone new come to them, is just break down the barriers and just make them feel so welcome that they're there, and hey, let's start from ground zero, and it's okay that you don't know what you're doing. Let's go about this and do it right.